love. So, in this video, we're going to be connecting with light workers, and we're going to be pulling guidance for those of you that feel that you are light workers, and we're all light workers. We're all here to spread love, spread light, and spread our unique perspectives on the world. But what we're going to do is just connect with energy, see what we have coming through. Okay, so this card literally just wanted to come out, and then I flipped it back over and carried on shuffling, and now it's coming out again. So we have pour the Veneton, experiencing grace, share your gifts with grace, waves of inspiration and love are coming to you. So obviously I'm getting that obviously this is a time when light workers, earth angels, starseeds need to be sharing their light, sharing their unique perspective on the world, sharing their spiritual gifts. But I'm getting that you will come into more contact with your spiritual gifts and your spiritual self. But it's almost like share what you have now, share the person that you are now, because when you change, you're going to be sharing from the perspective that you are at rather than the perspective that you once was. So there's a need to share who it is that you are now in this moment. There's these additional layers to light workers and starseeds and earth angels. There's more. I'm getting that there's a during this time, starseeds, light workers are finding more about themselves. They're finding, it's almost like once you have your spiritual awakening and you realize that you are a light worker or that you are a starseed or you're an earth angel, that it's almost like you are in that moment, you're like, okay, I'm so much more, I have a greater purpose. But then once you come into that purpose, once you finally accepted that you're a light worker, starseed or earth angel, that it's almost like that's all you see yourself to be. And it's what's coming to me is that it's like there's more layers to your beingness that you're discovering, that you're finding out that yes, you're not just a light worker, you're not just a starseed, you're other things. You're a son, you're a child, you're an adult, you're a friend, you're a healer. So we have Mary Magdalene. Teacher awakens. You have something important to share. Follow your inner call. Don't let anything stop you. So yes, again, that something important to share is your unique perspective and your spiritual gifts. It's like I'm getting, we need to try and get everybody to kind of ground in their heart center, and we need to ground heart center consciousness and heart center awareness. We need to ground that in the people of Earth. And there's something about like the spiritual gifts and spiritual gifts being connected to who it is that you are. It's almost as if you discover any of your spiritual gifts, you then find yourself. And if you find yourself, you then find your spiritual gifts. So, and to find yourself or to be in touch with that part of yourself is kind of to be in touch with your heart center, to be in touch with the depths of your core. And there's a need to ground that energy, to ground the heart center energy. And I can feel the energy of Gaia just saying like that's the wave that we're riding heart center consciousness. And I'm getting that planet Earth, Gaia herself, is a heart center conscious planet. And we have Gaia literally coming out of the deck. Earth connection, be mindful of the planet, come back to Earth, stay grounded. So most definitely we have the energy of Gaia stepping forward, Mother Earth. But again, Gaia is a heart center conscious planet, and we need to ground that energy in the beings of earth. And for some reason it keeps bringing me to the spiritual gifts like they're really important at this time. Some of that spiritual gifts will open people's eyes to mysticism, open people's eyes to magic, open people's eyes to the non-physical rather than just matter and what's materialistic. And when this card is saying come back to earth, really it's saying come back to yourself, come back to your heart. I'm getting the flower of life. And I'm hearing I feel like it's a nursery rhyme where it's called He's Got the Whole World in His Hands. But what the card is saying is that you have the whole world in your heart. That you have the universe in your heart, really. Okay. So let's pull some angels and ancestors oracle cards. See what energy we have stepping forward. I'm getting Earth School. And I'm getting that it's almost like the teachers are not the teachers anymore. The teachers are becoming the students. And the students are becoming the teachers. There's something to do with the students becoming the teachers. Almost that it's like the reins have been passed over to the beings of Earth. And again, I'm being brought to that galactic message of the galactics are watching, but they're just not interfering as much. They're leaving it up to us to kind of shape our destiny. But it basically just feels like healers and spiritualists are being called to really share your light, because it's the sharing of our light, the sharing of basically just ourselves that is going to help the world realize that there is so much more out there. Okay, and the reason spiritual gifts is coming up, and when it comes to like waking up people and opening people's eyes and also helping ground heart center consciousness, because the spiritual gifts have a huge element of spiritual gifts is the healing quality of them. The fact that they have the ability to help people trigger healing within themselves. And with that healing and with a lot of spiritual gifts, it's working with spirit, so working with energy. And once somebody can feel that healing or feel the energy from those spiritual gifts, it's almost like they have no choice but to believe in the non-physical. High Priest. Intend and create. Let's pull another card. Shapeshifter. Transform and unveil your gifts. And one final card. It's like right now we need to show the way, light the way, and it's not in terms of holding the torch and walking with that torch. It's just more so walking within our unique vibration. walking forward with confidence in who we are, and that we are working for the light, and that there is more out there. And it's coming that it's not to force or to like push down people's throats that this is real, this is real. It's just kind of you not even force saying that to somebody that this is real, and you just living your life, living your truth the way that you live it, and knowing that it's true to you will bring more people to truth, if that makes sense. Because there's nothing to prove. Peacekeeper, let go of the need to be right, literally what I just said. So, what we're getting with these cards, the High Priest, Shapeshifter and Peacekeeper, again I already explained, there's no need to kind of hold the torch open, there's just a need for you to express your light and continue spreading your light as a light worker. And it's more so expressing your connection to divinity, but what I'm getting, it's more like, again like I already said, it's not about saying to people this is real and you should follow this, or you should do this, or spirituality you must do so and so and so. It's more so you just really uploading things onto your own personal platform, you continuing to maybe go outside in nature and maybe meditate, or just connecting with animals. It's just more so about you just living your authentic truth, and that will help guide people to their authentic truth. And then when it comes to this shapeshifter and transform and unveil your gifts, again we've already been speaking about that, the need to share our spiritual gifts, the need to share our connection to spirit, we need to share our connection to source, to Gaia, to energy itself. And in the sharing of your gifts is you're able to then, one, develop yourself, and two, kind of come into a higher vibrational alignment. And with the final card of Peacekeeper, let go of the need to be right, that came out as I was literally saying that message, basically, of it's not, you don't need to force anybody to believe anything, it's just you need to just express yourself with truth. Because again, what is true to you may not be true to somebody else, but at the same time, in it being true to you means that it is truth. Okay, so let's pull from the Starseed Oracle deck and see what we have coming out. I'm sorry. Defensiveness. Right past wrongs. Uprooting. 333 as I looked up, and that's confirmation for me that this is a message for somebody that may be watching. And I'm getting that you feel kind of that, I'm getting it's a past thing, something in the past that you've done, which means that you can no longer be a light worker because you did something bad. But all I have to say to you is that you are not a moment in time. You are everything. You are all your experiences, not just the bad. So don't allow that one thing or the few things that you've done wrong to take you out of alignment. And if it does take you out of alignment, then that's fine, because you coming out of alignment is you still being in alignment, because everything happens in divine order. But it's about you recognizing that you may have slipped out of alignment, and you having the ability to bring yourself back into alignment, rather than you allowing these past things or whatever you've done to take you out of alignment and stop you from seeing your worth. Okay, so let's see what other messages we have for light workers, star seeds, earth angels. You're not alone. Isolation, physical connection, community. I'm getting more so to do with meditation. And again, a need to ground. And for some reason, I'm getting messages coming forward, and they feel more like personal messages, but obviously this is a general video for any that feel they resonate. But I'm getting that there's a need for you to forgive yourself, and there's also a need to apologize to yourself, because in whatever you've done, it feels like if it was like something or harm towards somebody else, it still feels like you was the one that suffered. Whatever you did caused more suffering on yourself than anybody else. So there's an element of you needing to, one, forgive yourself, and also say sorry to yourself. It feels like this lack of forgiveness or this past turmoil somehow gets in the way of your connection to source. Surrender to the sweetness, Venus energy, pleasure, joy, make love to life. So yes, you need to go with the flow. Because all's happening the way it needs to, and everything is happening to show you perspectives that are for your highest good. And when you do things to other people, sometimes you are playing an important role, and you are providing them with an important lesson to learn. And I'm getting that sometimes it's hard for you to see it in those ways, because it's almost like it's black and white. What is right, what is wrong, and there's no kind of good thing that can come out of something wrong. But again, there's always lessons and teachings that can be taken from every situation and every perspective. Okay. So let's just burn some of this sage, and then we'll see if energy is calling me to continue this read. Okay. For some reason, I'm getting that after meditation, you should cleanse, because you may be experiencing lots of things come up, past things, because I'm getting that we're getting ready for December, so there's a lot of healing that needs to happen, and a lot of triggering of healing that's happening, especially in LightWorkers. But this is also for 2021. And LightWorkers kind of need to be as light as possible, and so when we're in meditation or whatever, I'm getting that there's going to be a lot of things rushing to the mind, even those that are on the highest levels of awareness. They too still are going to have things that are going to come to mind, and if they feel that, all their personal things is healed and so on, it will be collective things that they will be receiving, and collective darkness that they will be having to heal from their personal side, from their personal perspective. And it's all for 2021 and December, so that we can go into 2021 as much within our light body as possible. Okay, so I just felt to pull one card from the top of the Angels and Ancestors Oracle deck, and we have the Eagle, see from a higher perspective. So yes, I'm getting that when personal things happen, sometimes they're not actually that personal. Sometimes it's a reflection of what's happening collectively, but the only way that we will understand it if it happens personally to us. It's almost like when somebody that doesn't have a child tries to give a parent advice, they say, you don't have no kids, so you can't give me advice. But that's kind of what's coming. Although it's almost that, but quite often the person that's giving the advice does actually know what they're saying. They don't have to have kids to be able to tell you how to treat a child or how to look after a child. A lot of people that don't have kids have looked after children a lot more than people who have their first kid. But yeah. Sorry, my mind just went completely blank. But again, I hope that you understand that message. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it there, seeing as my mind's going blank. But I thank you for being present with me. I hope that these messages benefit you. Peace and love. Ashe.